James never presented as a girl with anyone but his mom. At church?
Because he wanted to make her happy.
Or maybe the church doesn't like trans people.
No, I'm disallowed all contact with my sons.
He's lying. Younger was awarded supervised visitation.
I got that school shut down.
It was closed down due to budgetary issues, and this guy's name isn't mentioned a single time. He's just like lying to attach himself to a story.
Just flat out told me, he said, well, mommy doesn't love me if I'm not a girl.
Yep.
That's definitely true, guys. Make sure you validate that, Asmongold.
Well, there it is. It's just
Yep, there you go.
points of reference where it's confirmed. There are court reports public, it's real? Yeah.
None of it's confirmed, and you haven't even tried to confirm it yourself.
How is every single person in the country not immediately saying this woman needs to have the kid taken away from her?
Because all the facts are against what he's saying.
They aren't allowed to force and supersede parental rights? Yeah, and so... Anyway, sue the teachers? Yes, exactly.
Asmongold accidentally read a message that conflicted with the idiot rant he just had. So he had to pretend he didn't read it. If you're sitting here saying, I'm skeptical about gay and trans kids, I think that's perfectly valid. If the second I tell you that, like, hey, gay kids exist and trans kids exist, you go, they were indoctrinated. You hate gay and trans people. You can be uncomfortable. You can be skeptical. But what you shouldn't be is Asmongold. All right, let's get this going. I'm a little tired today. Give me a break if my energy's not where I want it to be. Somebody sent this Asmongold thing in the Discord, and I was like, I don't really want to watch this. It's a kind of a thing about a trans kid. Then I watched Asmongold's like very take on it, and it's I don't know. It's so frustrating that I was like, I have to talk about this. I just feel like it's irresponsible. So yeah, let's just start up. I have a couple of other resources I want to take a look at too. Let's just start this up. Here we go.
You're a boy, right?
No, I'm a girl.
Who told you you're a girl?
Same, dude. I'm also a girl, you know?
What?
Mommy,
When did she tell you were a girl?
because I love girls.
What the
Oh,
hell?
I see. So mommy told you you were a girl?
I believe at the time this kid's 5. Or they're 9? Okay, they're 9. I don't know why I thought they were like 7. Oh, they're 7. Sorry. Well, I got it wrong so many times. One of them is, this one is 7. This kid's 7 years old. Apparently they were diagnosed when they were 5 with gender dysphoria.
The state of California says that I have to pay for the chemical and physical castration of my son as child support.
What?
I'm not going to pay that child support. I'm not going to pay anything to hurt my son.
So this is when we get into the initial conversation. I'm somebody who generally trusts, doctors and mental health physicians and etc. The concept of gender dysphoria for kids does make me nervous. Not going to lie. They're kids. How explored can they be? I'm worried about misdiagnosis. But at the end of the day, from all the data that we have right now, the detransition rate is like 1%. This seems to be the best way to help young kids with gender dysphoria. So, is to progressively affirm their gender. Right? We know trans adults exist. They were trans when they were kids. This is between the parents, the doctors, and the kid. I don't know what else to tell you. The doctors have had this kid diagnosed since 5 years old, from my understanding. The kid's now a teenager, like they're 12, 13 years old, and they've been progressively responding positively for like the past 7 years to the treatment, which is the treatment for somebody that hasn't gone through puberty yet, is really just to socially identify, and they've been happy. So I don't really... it's not the best way. It's not even help at all. Like, what's wrong with you? This is the problem. If you're like, hey, I'm really skeptical about this, that's fine. But all the objective data that exists says that this is the best way to go. Like, it makes me uncomfortable because it's a young person, but like, you're completely feelings-based. I am also feelings-based too, but I go, okay, the objective data says that this is the right way to go. And it's talking about fueling delusions about body dysmorphia. I don't know what to tell you. We fuel, like, you could talk, the problem... Dude, I'm going to crash out. I forgot we're shooting about TikTok Live. Hold on a second. Bro, here's the problem that you guys have to understand, okay? This is something that you guys really have to understand. I understand that gender dysphoria is part of the DSM-5, right? And you guys look at that and go, see, that person's crazy, so it can't be real. I look at it as like, hey, other things are on the DSM-5 too, like ADHD. The way that we operate when it comes to the success of somebody that's diagnosed is to provide them the resources that helps them function better in society without hurting society. Right? That's it. But if we're going to have a conversation about delusion, I need you guys to understand something. And I don't mean to say this, I don't mean to say this disrespectfully. You cannot be somebody who believes in God and says somebody with gender dysphoria is delusional. You just don't get to do it. You have a group of people who feel they were born in the wrong body. That's gender dysphoria. Religious people have started wars and kill each other because their God from thousands of years ago told them that they were the best and they were valid, despite the fact of all the different contradictions. We don't even live in a religious society. A religious society wouldn't allow an age of consent outside of starting your period. I don't know what to tell you. Like, the Bible, unfortunately, is a book of delusions. So, religion, believing in a God that people pray to for, to help their favorite football team win, much more delusional than gender dysphoria. I don't know what else to tell you. And this idea of like, hey, puberty helps you get over gender dysphoria. Show me the data. There's no data. You don't have. Show me the facts. Show me the research. Show me your information. The only thing that people quote is a Swedish study that started 50 years ago and ended 30 years ago. It's not updated information. So, I don't know what else to tell you. This is what we were talking about. So even calling it chemical castration is it's kind of silly because it's not. It is puberty blockers to prevent puberty from going through, to kind of see where the kid goes and how they respond. For a lot of people who have actual diagnosed gender dysphoria, going through the puberty that doesn't align with their gender identity is incredibly distressing to them, to the point where it is very mentally distressing, to the point where they might take their own lives. So, yeah, it's not really hurting yourself. But anyway, that's pretty much all I got to tell you. Let's continue the video. I mean, I know people are very uncomfortable with that take, but if you set your feelings aside and you try to think logically and you try to look into the research for yourself and you don't try to look into what makes you feel better and you actually look at the data, like what you're saying is incorrect. So,
And that means you'll be going to prison?
California is going to send me to prison for that.
What?
I mean, yeah, he's denying the kid medical care. Sorry.
So, Jeff, you are going through something. You've been going through something that is probably a father's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Tell me when this started.
Started when my son was about 2 years old. My ex-wife, who's a pediatrician in Capel, Texas.
I like how Asmongold instantly is like, this must be true because he's saying it from his mouth. Like, what if he's lying? What if he's, you know what I mean? Like, he's been very vocal about this. The mom hasn't been vocal about any of this. She's trying not to weaponize her kid's identity as like social clout. All right, let me read that again for this chat. Thank you for the $100 again from Grassroots Hegemon. I am almost guaranteed your most conservative audience member. It's incredible. Thank you for the money. If you are diagnosing a child with a short-term medical solution, it is absolutely has to be reversible, and all evidence suggests puberty blockers just are not, much less surgery. With peace and love. So I appreciate that. I like this discourse. It's a tough question. So puberty blockers are both reversible and non-reversible. If you have diagnosed gender dysphoria and all the data says that this is the right way to go, it's uncomfortable for a kid to go through with it because, like, I mean, listen, how do you know if they actually do have gender dysphoria and they're not, having an issue in their life? I don't know. I'm not a medical professional. I would generally trust the data that suggests this is the right way to go. We're really not going to know until we do more research. But puberty blockers are reversible if you stop them relatively quickly. If you're only on them for a few months, they're reversible. If you stay on them, they're not reversible. And that's the goal, right? The idea for a kid going through gender dysphoria, we know that there are trans kids, there are trans adults, is for them to have an irreversible change because in their minds, going through the puberty that doesn't align with their sex, let's say it's a trans girl, going through a male puberty as a trans woman, that's going to distress you deeply. So you're trying to look for an irreversible change. That's the point. You want an irreversible change. You want to stop that puberty so you can go through a female puberty. That's the whole point. That's the idea. That's the concept. We can be uncomfortable with it, but all the data says that this is the right way to go. Children are too young to make decisions of that magnitude. But the problem is that I think that you guys think that these are just simple decisions. We're talking about a kid that started at 5 years old. It's been for 7 years. It's not just the kid. The parents are involved. Medical professionals are involved. It's not just like hey, I made a decision. I'm going to do this thing, LOL. I would imagine that a kid going through like something that's very mentally distressing, as time goes on, you would generally see if they weren't comfortable with it anymore. Right? So if you have a 5-year-old kid and you're socially transitioning them, you're letting them identify as a girl wearing a dress, and they're like, I don't like this anymore, then it's over. And then it's over. Right? But if they continue to have this thought, this feeling, and this belief, then it's not over. Unfortunately, this case was just abuse to the child. Who says who? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You can get a tattoo younger than 18. Well, that's true. So,
started thinking that he might be a girl.
He's 2 years old.
Well, no, the kid's like 12 now.
What? Holy shit.
And started trying to transition him to a girl.
Okay.
And when I tried to put a stop to that, she filed for divorce and used her relationships with care providers to force me out of my house. And so I moved about a mile up the road.
So just to be clear, we don't know if that's true. I mean, this idea that she like used her relationships to create this conspiracy to forcefully, change the child's gender. It's also possible that like the kid got diagnosed and the mom's like, oh, medically, this is the right way to go. This is best for the outcomes of the kid based on all the available data we have. So
From my sons,
my
she
God.
filed for divorce formally.
there's literally no just to be clear, there's no documentation that there's any abuse going on here. I don't know what to tell you. The dad's been going on to Tim Pool and a bunch of other conservative talk shows and talking about this from his perspective. We don't have the mother going around doing like some kind of like a walk around. We don't know if this is an issue. We don't know if there's actual abuse going on there. No, there isn't. There's literally there's not heavy documentation. What are you talking about? There's literally point me to the documentation.
And I had 50-50 custody of him. And just after his 3rd birthday, I took the first iPhone video I'd ever taken. And it was him telling me that he thought he was a girl because his mommy tells him a girl. You can go on YouTube and just search for Mommy Says I'm a Girl.
Sure, I have that here. We'll watch this for full transparency, obviously.
I'm a girl.
Who told you you're a girl?
Mommy.
This man, Jeff Younger, had his 9-year-old child transition to a girl without his consent.
It is illegal for
I'm pretty sure the kid's 7 at this point, but okay.
me to tell you that my boys are male.
It all began 2 years ago when Jeff noticed that the behavior between his then-wife, Dr. Ann Jorgulis, and his child had changed.
I first noticed it when she would put him into timeouts and she'd say things like, don't be a boy, the monsters only eat boys.
In the following weeks, the
What?
child asked
Say things like, don't be a boy, the monsters only eat boys.
Oh, I guess if that's true, that's sad, but we don't even know if that's true. He's just saying something.
in the following
It's also possible that he doesn't think this is the right course of action and that like he's making things up to try to, generate credibility for his case. Or maybe he's not lying. We don't really know. All we really have is available data. And since there are doctors involved that say that this is the correct treatment method, I'm more inclined to believe the doctors.
following weeks, the child asked Ann for a girl's meal deal at McDonald's and a silver purse from Target. At that moment, Jeff's wife told their child that she might be a girl and that she would help her transition. Jeff disagreed.
We were still married at the time, and I told her she couldn't do that.
His wife started dressing their youngster up in girls' clothes. Jeff decided to record a video of his child to show his indignation.
She puts dresses on you?
The video went viral.
Yeah, it's possible the mom's coaching the child. In this video, it looks like... Oh, this isn't even the right video. I meant to show you this video. I'm so sorry. We'll watch this one too, and then we'll watch this other one. Sorry, I played the wrong video, but it's fine.
Reaching the news around the world.
At this hour, we have not heard from the mother's side yet.
The kid was taken to therapy and assessed to be fit for transition. However, Jeff
Yeah, okay. So what the doctor says. What am I supposed to do?
believed their child was being forced by Ann to accept this.
I'm not even left or right, but 2 years is too young. The problem is like this kid is 12 now. I don't know what you mean. No, but like the 2 years old comes from what? Like you realize that this isn't a diagnosis since the kid was 5, right? Like, like it's not like the kid. I would imagine common sense would dictate if the kid wasn't comfortable, they would just stop identifying as a girl and they would stop expressing themselves in society as a girl. Okay.
This new identity.
My son only presents as a girl with his mom. He's never presented as a girl with me or anywhere else.
Upon questioning his child, he was shocked to hear one of the reasons why she wanted to transition.
So he's just told them straight up, Mommy doesn't love me if I'm not a girl.
Jeff
Okay. Can we verify any of this information? Do you have any other proof? He has the proof of this one video that he's taken. Then how come he doesn't have recordings of those conversations too? That's just strange to me.
confronted his wife. This led them to an irreconcilable fight.
She forced me out of my house, filed for divorce, and then
Yeah, maybe it's because she's crazy and is trying to groom her kid to be trans. Or maybe it's because the kid's actually trans and she wants the best outcomes for the kid, and this guy just doesn't believe it because he doesn't validate gender dysphoria. That's kind of that issue.
And began to really in earnest try to transition my son.
Jeff tried to stop her from doing so, but it was too late.
Despite the fact that I've told the schools they don't have my consent to do this, I've changed his name.
James changed her name to Luna. Amidst their divorce, Jeff offered $20,000 a month in child support to Anne in exchange for 50-50 custody over their kid.
Because I knew if I had 50-50 time with my son, he would reject a female identity, because he's never presented as a girl with me.
But Anne refused, fully aware of the intentions her husband had. Jeff was
So the kid doesn't have a 50-50 take?
enraged by this decision.
They can make their men do whatever they want because they can take their kids anytime they want.
Jeff tried to fight against the decisions of his wife and daughter.
So I'd take my son to school in boys' clothes. They'd give him a dress.
The school
Okay, well, I guess the kid's diagnosed with gender dysphoria.
fully supported his daughter's and wife's decision.
I filed grievances with the school district. They said they did not violate my parental rights by transitioning my son without my consent.
Well, yeah, because the mom agrees and so with doctors. So, I mean, that's obviously not going to violate your rights. The kid's the priority here, and it could have very negative outcomes if you don't allow your kid to express themselves the way that they're supposed to.
In the trial for their divorce, it was agreed that no parent would present Luna as a girl to a third party. However, Anne broke this pact.
The next day, that's how she put him on the website, in a pink dress with a bow in his hair.
Yeah, that sounds wrong.
Jeff argued that the judge forced the family to transition their child into a girl.
Why would the judge force this to happen? Do you think the judge gives a fuck?
It's the first time in Texas that's ever happened.
The court-appointed psychologists did suggest their child to transition, but
So we have an independent psychologist, then also the court-appointed psychologist that the court appointed to examine this kid also said, like, yeah, it seems like this kid has gender dysphoria. So we have the mother, we have the schools, we have the mother psychologist, we have the court psychologist, all agreeing that the kid is diagnosed with gender dysphoria, but the dad doesn't, and neither does Timcast IRL. Two people without medical degrees. I don't know. Who am I supposed to believe? Who am I supposed to believe? Yeah, we should have definitely trusted a court-appointed judge. Who else do you trust? Who else do we trust? I don't understand. What do you mean? Like, what? From all the available information, it seems like this kid has gender dysphoria.
they never forced them to do so.
The state of Texas had no compelling interest to justify such interference.
Added to that, the judge believed Jeff's motives to prevent this transition had nothing to do with the well-being of his kid.
Somebody just said the dad was a doctor. The dad hasn't even clarified what his job is. What are you talking about? He has like statistical analysis apparently. What are you talking about?
The father finds comfort in public controversy and attention surrounded by his use of unfounded facts and is thus motivated by financial gain of approximately $139,000.
The judge allowed Anne and their children to move to California and that she wouldn't have to tell Jeff where she was.
I'm not going to follow your gag order. I'm never going to follow your unconstitutional.
Did I get it wrong? Is he a doctor? Like, I don't know. Did he say he was a doctor or something? Like, am I missing something?
Illegal gag order.
Jeff began a campaign to protect his child and demand what
this video is insanely biased. Didn't talk about the school being shut down or the fact that the judge dismissed that man. Yeah, there was a school shutdown
was happening.
I spent over $1 million fighting that.
Through this platform, Jeff shared his ideology regarding underage sex change.
These effeminate bastards march through the corridors of power, telling us that we have to murder our children, castrate them, and condemn them to a life of despair and suicide.
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, man. Trans people exist, but okay.
Jeff was invited to the North Texas University to share his experience, but a bunch of students stood against him due to his controversial ideas regarding transgender rights. This case inspired the Texas state to pass a bill which prevents minors from accessing hormone therapy and puberty blockers.
Children need to be.
And I'm not necessarily against it. I don't really know. I mean, maybe you shouldn't give your kids puberty blockers. I don't know. But it seems like, again, all this the data points towards it being the right way to go.
Protected and allowed to develop into the
9 out of 10 people who take puberty blockers regret the decision, and majority regret taking hormones. There's not a single bit of data that suggests that. Where are you getting that? I would, if you have that data, show it to me, please. I want to read that. What report says that 9 out of 10 people who take puberty blockers regret the decision? Please show that to me.
Gender they were born with.
However, this was heavily criticized across the country as it ignores any medical advice on the topic.
The American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Medical Association, they all say that this kind of treatment is beneficial for kids suffering and diagnosed with gender dysphoria.
In response, President Biden came forward to defend trans rights.
You do belong. And I want you to know that as you're...
Can I get message access to send data? Just tell me the research. Tell me what the research paper is called, and I'll Google it.
President, all of us on this stage have your back.
Anne still has custody over their children, whilst Jeff still fights to stop Luna from transitioning. Anne is still yet to come out to share her version of the events and to shed more light on this controversial case.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. She doesn't want to publicize this situation like that dad does. Yeah, so this is the video that we were supposed to watch at first. My bad. Like this, but let's watch this. This is the full thing.
You're a boy, right?
No, I'm a girl.
Who told you you were a girl?
Mommy.
When did she tell you you were a girl?
'Cause I love girls.
Oh, I see. So mommy told you you were a girl?
I think that the implication that he keeps saying, "Mommy told you you're a girl." The kid obviously, it's possible mommy told the kid that he's a girl, she's a girl, whatever. It's also possible that the kid was like, "I'm a girl," and the mom's just trying to help the kid out. He's asking this question in a very pointed manner on purpose because he has an agenda. And by the way, the agenda might be to save his kid. That's fine. That doesn't mean that he's correct. He might. I mean, from my perspective, this guy doesn't validate trans people despite back all the data shows that this is the right way to go right now based on all the available data. He may just not believe that. He might just be like, "Hey, I don't agree with that. I disagree with that. That's wrong." And he might be trying to do what he thinks he's doing is saving the kid when it actually might be very negative for the kid. But that is his agenda.
Does mommy do anything else like with a girl with you? Like what?
Like kisses.
What does she do?
She puts them on me.
She puts dresses on you? Oh, yeah. Wow. And what else does she do?
The kid probably likes that. I mean, I don't know. When I was like fucking when my cousin was 4, I knew he was gay. I don't know. I feel like there's similar things, gay, trans. You know what I mean? Yeah. Do I believe in surgery for young children? No, of course not. That would be ridiculous. You don't need to have surgery at 18 years old.
She buys my headbands. And she gets me hair clips.
Oh, hair clips? Okay. What else?
Cool.
Some microphones.
What else?
Like a skeleton.
Does she do anything with your fingers?
Yeah.
What?
She paints my nails.
So that...
Oh, what does he or she like it when the nails are painted?
Why does she do that?
Because I love...
Listen, if you think that this is brainwashed into kids, that's fine, as long as you're morally consistent. If you're saying that you could be brainwashed as a kid into being trans, then you also have to accept that you can be brainwashed into being religious as well. Just to be clear, keep the same energy for the thing that's more delusional. I'm just telling you right now, like, you guys can't do that. The problem is every single person who says this is super religious, and you guys are like, no, my delusion is real, but every other delusion, those are totally fucking fake. It's like, okay, 2,000 translations of the Bible later. Jesus Christ. What am I saying? I'm saying the facts. I'm so sorry, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
Like nail polish.
Oh. So mommy puts you in a dress and...
Hold on a second. Hold on.
I love like nail polish.
Well, it seems like the kid likes nail polish. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh. So mommy puts you in a dress and puts nail polish on you? And what does mommy tell you?
She tells me I'm a girl.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool.
Do you think you're a girl? You do? Is that why you wear this, so that you can have long hair?
Cool. Nice hair,
okay.
Yes. All right. Cool. From this is what you're showing me, which I don't know how relevant this is to the conversation. It's about mastectomies in adolescents, like 12 to 17, with the median age being 16 or the middle. You know, here's the thing: I don't really believe in this type of thing for somebody under the age of consent. And the reason I say that is because if your age of consent, you're say it's 16, then they should be able to get this done at 16. If you're like, no, that's wrong, then raise the age of consent for your kid having sex, you weirdo fucking freak. You think your 16-year-old daughter is allowed to have sex with a 25-year-old, but you don't think they're thinking of mastectomy? I don't know. So raise your age of consent. But this shows that there are only 2 out of like the 200 people express regret from getting a mastectomy. I'm against people getting mastectomies here. I don't know why you showed this to me. I'm not entirely sure what the point of you showing this to me was. but it seems like this is in support of this type of, treatment working. Then again, I don't know how long it was since they checked in with the person. I don't know. Because, if it was right after the fact, they would be like, no, I really like this. But it could be 10 years later, and maybe they would regret it. The data is so young on a lot of this stuff that we don't know the 100% facts yet. That's why we need to do more research. Listen. I like this question because I mentioned before that I knew my cousin was gay when he was 4. Bro, kids are gay. You could tell a kid is gay. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't even know if I can communicate this to you, but your kid's born gay. Whether it's partially genetic or really what it would be primarily is hormone washing in the womb. That's like a big thing. And you can look into the research that tells that for every boy a mother has, successive boy, there's a higher chance that the kid has of being gay. So there's clearly like something going on there biological. Maybe even that wants to make kids turn gay, to have more gay offspring, because gay people tend to support their family structure. So they go out and they gather resources. So in like the wild, they gather resources and they bring it back to the offspring of their brothers and sisters. But like, yeah, man, you could tell like a 4-year-old's gay, bro. My cousin was gay as fuck. I could tell you, I clocked him like that. He's gayest. He's not even the gayest person I know, because I know a lot of gay people, but he's gay. He was gay. There's a lisp. There's a lisp, dude. There's a lisp. I got that gaydar, dog. There's a lisp, okay? Every gay person I know has a lisp. You know about those gay vibes. Maybe it's my 7th sense, okay? I don't know what my 6th... It's the worst take ever. I'm just explaining to you the facts, brother, okay? There are gay kids. He's gay but trans. No, I don't... He was not trans. I brought up that the kid was gay. I mean, that's, it's something similar. They like girl shit. Gay and trans kids... at least if they were born a boy, they like girl stuff. That's just what we see. They're like, I like girl shit. I like identifying with girl shit. They hang out. They do girl shit. They do theater. I don't know why you keep saying straw man. I don't know. I'm responding to somebody who donated to my YouTube chat, but it's kind of like a fact of the matter. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. They just exist, dude. Maybe I just grew up in like a different area than you, man. But... how is it the same? All right, you're going a little crazy, but let me continue.
You'll find that video.
That is
yes, but it was learned from somebody. Why is it always... This is the craziest thing ever. How, like, you guys are so conspiracy brained. Like, when I sit here and tell you that my fucking cousin was gay, you're like, they must have been indoctrinated. What if they're just gay? Like, why does it always have to be indoctrination? Why is your go-to, no, it's indoctrination? If you're sitting here saying I'm skeptical about gay and trans kids and hormones and stuff, I think that's perfectly valid and I respect you. If the second I tell you that, like, hey, gay kids exist and trans kids exist, you go, they were indoctrinated. You hate gay and trans people. You're a freak. You're not objective. You're looking to demonize all gay and trans people. There is a difference. Animals are gay. Okay. Animals are gay. They suck each other's dicks sometimes. That's fucking crazy shit, but it's true.
Grooming, man. Like, how is a parent trying to...
How do you know it's grooming, Asmongold?
Groom their kid into being trans at 2 and 3 years old. That's insane.
Oh my God, it's insane.
This is crazy.
I love how he just takes everything this guy's saying as absolute fact. The guy going on media tours to get a lot of publicity from Timcast IRL. This guy must be telling 100% the truth. But the mom who's staying quiet to do benefit their own kid, she's probably lying, right?
Her in jail. Yes, this is nuts. Look at the video now. It was the beginning of this. Like, just like go back like literally 1 minute in the VOD and you'll see it.
It wasn't the beginning of this, was it?
This is nuts.
Yeah. She was telling him.
I guess. Oh, you know what? This is probably
California said.
Yeah, this is a heavily edited down version of this Softwood Underbelly video. That's why they cut it out.
Things like, should put him into timeout and say, "Don't be a boy. The monsters only eat boys," and weird things like this.
Is that true? I don't know if I can trust this guy. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not.
Bro.
Whoa.
Bro. How do you let this happen? This is insane. Yes, this is...
It's just so weird because Asmongold is just assuming this guy's telling 100% truth every time he talks. It's just weird.
Straight up wrong. Yes, it is. This is awful.
Okay.
It's not even nuts. She needs to be sent to an asylum as soon as possible. I think that a lot of women, like, and this is especially true, I think women fall victim to this more often, is that, like, the social messaging and, like, the moral virtue of being trans, I think causes women to have, like, so there's a fucking issue, like a mental disorder. It's called Munchausen by proxy. And it's
Munchausen's?
where a parent basically like either gets their kid sick or pretends like their kid is really sick in order to basically farm sympathy and farm attention from having this sick kid. And so I view the parents that are like grooming kids to be trans as like, I mean,
well, okay, you're just taking what this guy says as fact. It's just so I don't know, man. It's very strange that this guy's making a claim and you're instantly validating it without any evidence. And you're like, hey guys, I'm going to go off into this entire tirade about how this actually must be true, even though you haven't looked into any bit of factual information about any of this. He could be lying. He could be telling the truth. You have no idea.
Again, we're not even talking about like 14. We're talking about 2 and 3 years old. Okay, they don't even know what gender is yet, really. And like you're grooming your kid to do this. Like this is a mental disorder, right? I mean, this woman there's something wrong with her, man.
Okay.
Yeah, like straight up, something wrong with her. And it's insane that like I can't see anybody who could just...
Well, one of the things that makes me extraordinarily skeptical of this is that this guy has the recording of his kid that he put up on the internet, but he has no recordings of any of the other claims that he makes. And you'd think that he would take his fucking phone out when he would have these conversations with his kid if this was true. Clearly, he doesn't mind, waving his kid around like some kind of a flag because he's going on Tim Pool's podcast. So why wouldn't he have more video research of this situation? Why is it only a 1.5 minute long video where the kid says, I like to have my nails painted? That's the only thing that he's got. I see. So you sent me this to explain to me that apparently based on this data that they asked trans adults. That's what this seems to be. They asked trans adults when they first experience gender dysphoria, and they say between 3 and 7 years old. That's based on what they say. All right, that makes sense. Sure, I imagine you know that from when you were a kid. Okay, sure.
Not
makes sense. Just to be clear, somebody said the reason he doesn't have any more video evidence is because he's not allowed to access the kid. He's recalling stories about his kid from when he was allowed to access his kid. Why wouldn't he take more videos? I don't understand. Why would he take more videos?
Not come to this obvious conclusion that she's nuts.
Okay.
Yes, it's insane. He's not too, bro? Well, he was in the video where at the beginning, actually, they said he was 3, so that's not it.
In that video, he was like 7. I'm pretty sure. That was what the title said.
Yeah, so he's 3. I think that's a little bit better, right?
Was he 3? I thought he was 7. That's what the thing I watched said. Maybe he was 3. I don't know. Maybe that was probably a 3-year-old. I have no fucking idea what kids look like at certain ages.
Let's see here. And I remember his documentaries, and a woman would hospitalize themselves regularly. Yeah, and so that's what happens. And I don't... Okay. I'm shocked that people don't like put up with this even in a slightest amount. This is crazy. It was 2 whenever she began grooming. Yeah, according to him, that's true.
There we go. Okay, according to him. You know what? God bless. That's at least he said something reasonable there.
And she.
I wish that he would be more insistent that like we don't know if this is true, because right now he's over validating the entire story, and that was the first time he said something that was like unbiased.
Began to then socially transition him, and that led to a titanic battle in the state of Texas that culminated in me getting the procedures outlawed in Texas.
Good for him.
And why is that good for him? What if like a ton of kids no longer have access to healthcare that they desperately need to increase their outcomes? Why is that good for him? A non-scientifically based banning of a medical treatment because the dad complained on Timcast IRL? Oh, that's crazy. Makes sense.
The political establishment in Texas allowing her to come to California so she could still castrate him even though I got it outlawed.
Oh, I mean, that's one way to say it. Or maybe she was like, oh, my kid needs access to this because the doctor said this is what will help them. I should move somewhere where their rights are protected. That's also a way to look at it. I'm just going to start reading your donations on here specifically, but not saying you groomed your cousin into being gay. I don't care if every single person you know is trans. Why does the earth have to orbit around this issue? So first of all, excuse me, conservatives won't stop talking about this issue. They won't shut the fuck up about it. They virtue signal about this constantly. The only reason we talk about trans stuff all the time is because conservatives can't shut the fuck up about it. They just can't stop talking about it, despite the fact that it is like 0.1% of people. They will not stop talking about it. They're trying to make you feel panicked about trans people existing. It's trans panic. They're literally shitting their pants over trans people. That's why we talk about this so much, because they won't stop talking about it. This person has been parading their kid around on a bunch of different conservative shows, desperately trying to get them to change laws that contradict actual factual medicine, mental health medication, and mental health medical study. Okay? Is the data wrong? Maybe. Well, not as we have it right now. Will it change? Maybe. But so far, the kid's getting treated based on how they're supposed to be treated. Anyway, and what amount of political damage will you take before you moderate? I don't know what that means. If you're asking, like, I don't know what that means. Are you telling me that just to be clear, what you're telling me right now is that, like, Democrats lost to Trump, and one of the issues they ran on was trans issues. So, like, I have to just change my take on trans people to be more politically liked. I don't care. I'm not gonna do that. Like, I don't believe something because I'm told to believe it. This is how I feel. And I look at the data, and the data says this is the right way to go. If the data changes, I'll change my mind. I don't know what to tell you. What the fuck do you want me to tell you? You want me to just be stupid and just follow political trends? I don't give a fuck. Let me read that one too. The guy who's been donating a lot of money to argue with me, God bless him, says, you can tell I'm conservative because I'm not poor. I wanted to make sure you guys knew that. Okay? I'm letting him flex in the chat on that. I'm gonna let him flex on that one. All right.
Had your son? You have two sons.
I have two sons, James and Jude. They're
I guess you have a daughter too. It's a son and a daughter.
twins. They're not identical.
Okay.
James is the one that she.
My thing is why wouldn't she try to supposedly groom both kids into being trans? Why does she only want one trans kid, and why that one? She want a boy and a girl.
He's transitioning.
And was there any sign in James that he was open to this, or showing signs that he wanted to be anything other than?
Well, you know,
probably it's probably a trans little kid.
No, it's interesting. So he was directly asked that by counselors and stuff, but
how are counselors asking a child what gender they think they are?
Well, that's what you kind of have to do. There's no like objective fact about gender dysphoria other than like the studies and the research and the data that we collect. So they have to ask the kid about it, and the kid was like 5 when they were getting asked.
What's going on?
What do you mean?
How is this? This is insane. He's brainwashed. Yeah. Also, like, of course you have a kid. Like, if the mom is sitting there this is like you have kids that are like radical, religious people, right? Like kids that are like hyper racist. If you have,
you mean like conservatives? Like,
a 5-year-old that's hyper racist and they know a bunch of racial slurs, they didn't spawn in that way, man. They had.
So I just want to express the timeline here. I looked at the timeline just so that we have like because some of it's getting confusing. So James and Jude, that's him and his ex-wife. They had fraternal twin boys, right? Well, excuse me, his name is Jeff and the wife's name is Anne. They have kids named James and Jude, fraternal twin boys. They're born. At age 3, James reportedly expresses a desire to be a girl. According to the mom, she begins allowing him to socially transition using the name Luna and dressing him in girls' clothing. A year later, the two of them, their marriage became annulled. Interesting. They initially agreed to share joint custody. In 2018, the custody dispute escalated, and Anne seeks to affirm James's gender identity with medical support, while Jeff opposes it, claiming James' identity as a boy with him. What? Oh, identifies as a boy with him. So Jeff launches a public campaign, including a blog to save James, gaining attention from conservative groups. In October 2019, a Dallas County jury, 11-1. So, wait a minute, a Dallas County jury? All right, I just want to look into it. Dallas County jury, just to be clear, they're more liberal. Just wanted to be transparent with that information. Votes 11-1 to grant Anne, the mom, sole custody of the twins. However, the judge, Kim Cooks, overrules the jury, ordering joint custody and requiring mutual consent for medical decisions, including gender-affirming treatments. The case draws significant political attention, with Texas Governor Greg Abbott and Attorney General Ken Paxton calling for investigations into possible child abuse. Okay. In 2020, Dallas County District Judge Mary Browns awards Anne sole custody, but maintains that Younger's consent is needed for gender-related medical procedures. Younger continues to fight legally and publicly. All right, Younger, which is Jeff here, runs unsuccessfully for the Texas House of Representatives, District 63, campaigning against gender-affirming care for minors. Later that year, Anne retains sole custody under Texas ruling. So it seems like they no longer need. Oh wait, that might be what it is. Anne moves the twins. So I think that later that year, Anne retains sole custody. That might mean that they no longer needed both parties to consent. Anne moves the twins to California, leveraging the state's trans sanctuary law, which protects families seeking gender-affirming care. Younger petitions the Texas Supreme Court to block the move, but the court dismisses his request in an 8-1 decision, with Justice John Devine dissenting. Okay, so the Texas Supreme Court shot down the block to have the kid moved. In November 2024, Los Angeles Superior Court, Judge Mark Jewis, is that how you say his name? What the fuck? Grants Anne full custody and authority to pursue gender-affirming care, such as puberty blockers for James, now 12. Younger loses all parental rights except supervised visitation, which he refuses, citing is reinforcing a false narrative about his fitness as a father. That's weird that you wouldn't even want to see your kid, but okay. So November 2024 onward, Younger announced his plans, that's Younger, to appeal the California ruling, potentially to the California Supreme Court, vowing to continue his fight to protect James from what he calls irreversible medical interventions. Okay. Interesting. And there's the dinging timer telling me that I have to react harder. Okay. All right. So that's the timeline as we know it, just to be clear. All right. Interesting. Let's continue.
They had a little bit of help.
Let me just tell you about one of the fundamental facts of the case that a lot of people find shocking.
Okay.
James never presented as a girl with anyone but his mom. At church.
Because he wanted to make her happy. Because she would like whenever he would act like a girl.
Or, check it out, maybe the church doesn't like trans people, so the kid didn't identify as a girl at the church. But you know what? That one, the church is known for loving trans people, so... Asmongold's such a cum guzzler. Holy fuck.
That's probably what happened.
With me, with his friends, he dressed as a boy and called himself James. He only presented as a girl with his mom. And I asked him one time, why are you doing that?
Are you saying, like, in the beginning of the kid transitioning, they only did it around the mom? Doesn't that make sense, though? Like, if your kid's like, oh, I'm trans, I'd be like, all right, why don't you just start dressing like a girl around me and dress like, normal around your friends and family and the church? Like, I thought that makes sense if this is even true.
And he just flat out told me, he said, well, mommy doesn't love me if I'm not a girl.
Yep.
Oh, wow. That's definitely true, guys. Make sure you validate that, Asmongold.
Well, there it is.
Yep, there you go. There it is. Definitely true. We knew it.
It's like I said. I mean, a lot of these women...
The mom encouraged it. This is okay, maybe. We don't know if the mom encouraged it. The problem is that you guys are... okay, almost got a little crazy. You guys are listening to what he says and taking it as an absolute fact. So you're like, well, the mom encouraged this behavior. Who said that? He said it. He can't prove it. Right? So he's saying something, and you're like, that's the fact. I don't know what the facts are. But the facts we do know is that doctors, multiple of them, have examined this kid and said, like, oh, they have gender dysphoria. So what does this kid think right now? That they have gender dysphoria. But he won't even see his own fucking kid.
Women are just...
And you're speculating to support the trans idea? I don't know what to tell you, dude. I'm really speculating. I'm just trusting doctors. The trans idea. You've already omitted yourself as reasonable in this conversation.
It's fucking insane. And I don't know really how it gets to this extreme. Like, I'm not sure, like, is it something where, like, what's her relationship with the other kid, right? Her other son.
Yeah, is she transing that kid too? Why is that kid not trans if she's so fucking hellbent on having a trans kid?
Like, what's the relationship with this? Is it because, like, this is somehow like a, she's getting a divorce, so now she hates all men. She doesn't want to be around men, so she's making her young boy son a girl. Like,
they got divorced after the kid identified as trans. What? Asmongold's just making things up in real time. He's just making narratives up in real time. I'm sorry, man. The majority of people who were diagnosed with gender dysphoria are still trans. So,
like, I don't know. Is she doing this for, like, social validation? Like, I always wonder.
Maybe she's doing it because the kid's trans. I don't know.
Sure about that. Like, why does the person
source that claim? What do you mean source that claim? Why do you think people wait? That's dude. I'm so shocked. Do you think that all the trans research that exists disagrees with the doctors? I'm so confused. Everything that I see is that detransition rates are less than 1%. What do you want me to tell you? Do you want me to change? You want me to change my perspective? Stop being disingenuous. You understand my point? Yes, I understand your incredibly stupid fucking point. You bring up lobotomies, saying like, well, lobotomies, those existed, and those are bad now, which means gender dysphoria is bad now. I don't know. What about fucking metformin? What about all the modern day medicine that we still use today? Like, you're isolating one specific individualized fucking point of like, oh, lobotomy's bad. And there's an argument to be made that back then, when you had people running around fucking stabbing people, maybe lobotomies were the right thing to do back then, but now we have better ways to deal with people mental health wise, but probably not. But either way, what about all the other overwhelming documentation, all of the overwhelming evidence, all the shit that we still use today that still works, like vaccines? We live in a time where everybody decides that vaccines don't work and that medicine is fucking irrelevant. Over and over again. Well, I don't know. What do you want me to tell you? Like, I don't know what to tell you. We're at the point where you guys are conspiracy brain. You just don't believe anything that you don't want to believe because you're very emotionally driven. This is from the AP News. Texas court. Okay, so the claim from the dad is that Texas court forces dad to allow son to undergo chemical castration. AP's assessment false. No such decision has been rendered by a Texas court. A judge ruled on Thursday that 2 Texas parents who are in a battle over the care of their child must jointly agree to medically transition their 7-year-old. Interesting. Online posts, blogs, and stories are falsely claiming that the court had ruled in the favor of the Texas mother, clearing the way for her to chemically castrate her 7-year-old son. Former spouses who live in Dallas have been embroiled into a legal dispute over the divorce with the couple's disagreement. Okay, hold on a second. So just to be clear, this doesn't contest what the dad says. This is from 2019 at a time where where it wasn't at a time where the mom was allowed to let the kid get gender affirming care without the dad's decision, which is no longer true. Other people were putting up the narrative that the kid had to undergo, or that the Texas court forces dad to undergo chemical castration, which is a incredibly deceptive way. It's puberty blockers. It's not chemical castration. This was a claim somebody else had made up, and now he's making this claim in 2025 because they want some of the child support money to go to health care for the kid, which would include, right? So this doesn't make him this by itself doesn't make him like a liar. This doesn't own him. Just to be clear, I wanted to make, I'm not trying to be uncharitable to this.
Do this.
And that's what he told the counselors too. Mm-hmm. James is a very talented boxer.
By the way, this is the reason.
What? Is he 12 at this point? He's a boxer?
And why people call it a woke mind virus. This is straight up a perversion of the mind.
What is? Trans people? What? This guy's a weirdo.
If you are looking to defend this in any way, shape, or form,
you
have completely lost the plot.
If this guy is accurate and if everything that this guy is saying is true, then yes, that mom's a demon and needs to be arrested and worse. The only facts that we have so far is that multiple doctors, including unbiased, I would assume court-appointed doctors, were asked to look at this kid, and they diagnosed the kid with gender dysphoria. That's the only fact that we have, is multiple doctors diagnosing this kid with gender dysphoria. We have that fact. We have the fact that gender-affirming care is good for people who need it. That's the only facts that we know. That's it. That's all we know. Then we have the dad putting a story out there, which may or may not be true. Again, he did just show us a video of the kid going, I like to have my nails painted. I don't know what that was supposed to prove. So if you're just very factually driven and you're not emotionally driven and you're not just I'm uncomfortable, so this is bad, you'll go, oh, let me just kind of see how it plays out. I mean, this is the guy who refuses to see his kid because the kid is trans. Just to be clear, this dad refuses to see his own kid. He has the ability to see the kid, refuses to see his own kid. But that's not like a bell ringing in your head? See your own kid? What the fuck?
You are totally out of your fucking mind. This is not acceptable.
Gender affirming care is good fact. Absolutely not cite anything. You're right. I should say. Let's see. Does gender affirming care work? Let's just Google that. Yes, research consistently shows that gender-affirming care, which includes medical and psychological support, significantly improves the mental health and well-being of transgender kids. Okay, great. You know what? That's not an objective source. Let's go to the fucking insane Twitter. I'm doing this in real time. I'm not even going to edit this out. Let's just go to Twitter. Let's see what Elon Musk's Grok says. Gender-affirming care is a broad term that encompasses a range of medical blah, 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 blah. Research consistently shows gender-affirming care, when tailored to an individual's need, can be highly effective. Wow, look at this. Even the conservative Twitter agrees with me. I'm Googling this off the fucking shot. I could have been proven wrong in real time with literal conservative Twitter's AI Grok, but I wasn't. Go look up the information yourself. You guys, dude, this is the problem that we have. This won't be enough for you because you guys have been trained to eat conspiracy theories for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and just to think whatever you want. The Conservative Party, unfortunately, is the party of feelings. There's no more facts. Everything is feelings-based. Trans people don't exist. Climate change doesn't exist. The world isn't flat. Vaccines don't work. You guys are fucking insane. You don't look at things objectively. You go, trans people make me uncomfortable. And by the way, I understand why you'd be uncomfortable with a kid going through some kind of puberty blockers. I get that. But you're taking that and you're extrapolating and going, Oh my God, dude. Literal demons are coming all over and creating valleys of a cum, and we're all dying. This is what you guys do. You're feelings based. You get uncomfortable and you decide that everything that makes you uncomfortable is wrong. That's the world you live in. That's not the world I live in. I'm uncomfortable too, but this is what the facts say. What do you want me to tell you? These are the facts. These are the facts that we're seeing in front of us. These are factual information, okay? I don't know what else to tell you. I'm looking at facts and going, oh, fuck, the facts are saying things. Let me consider that in my, worldview, what facts are saying.
Oh, it's not okay. This is creepy,
It's
weird.
creepy, dude.
This is child grooming. It's disgusting.
Okay.
Absolutely disgusting. These are children. And we're not even talking about 16. Again, we're talking about, they're not even in school yet.
Damn.
It's deranged. Yeah, it's an accessory to these people. Yeah.
Accessory, dude. It's crazy.
I'm a boxer. My dad was a boxer. James is extreme.
These are the videos that show you that Asmongold truly is not some kind of objective free thinker. That's it. He will lean into his conservative audience on a dime. He doesn't pull up studies to see if kids can have gender dysphoria. He doesn't pull up studies to see that most adults with gender dysphoria tell you that they start identifying as trans or they knew that they were trans around 3 to 7 years old. He doesn't pull anything up. He just sits here and listens to this dad with zero factual information to show us. Tell you that the mom is an evil demon that forced her kid to be trans. You could be uncomfortable, you could be skeptical, but what you shouldn't be is Asmongold.
Extremely talented. Jude's a wrestler, but James is a very talented boxer. Olympic talent scouts were looking at him.
Really?
He's that good.
A 3-year-old? What?
Good for him.
Wait, I'm so sorry. What? The kid's been trans since they were 3, but they're still an Olympic level boxer? That's insane! Okay.
Backed away from him once this all got started. He has...
You said this got started when the kid was 3. What are you talking about? I'm so confused. This doesn't even make sense. It started when it was 3. The kid was a really good boxer, but once all this stuff started, the talent scouts stopped looking. The talent scouts started for 3-year-olds? There's talent scouts scouting out 3-year-olds? His story doesn't make sense.
All boyfriends.
Yeah, sure.
Now, he has some things that
boyfriends
you might say are feminine. He likes art.
That is pretty gay.
He particularly likes painting and pastels.
That is incredibly feminine. We already know that the gayest person in the world started World War II because he wasn't allowed to be a fucking big gay loser. Oh, we can't go to art school. Guess I'm going to be a fucking asshole now.
Right.
My son Jude likes sculpture,
That's crazy.
James is also more extroverted.
Cool.
And
so this is why he's a girl, is because he likes art and painting.
Okay. I mean, we're talking about the dad who refuses to see his own kid. I don't really know if I'd listen to much what he has to say, but okay.
Uh-huh.
Is willing to play with almost anybody, and he will definitely play with girls. He'll play tag with girls. He'll build things with girls. He has no problem hanging around with girls.
You're supposed to beat up girls at that age, dude. I didn't want to see his art. Whose art? Hitler's art or fucking James's or Luna? Whose art do you want me to look at?
But in terms of having a desire to be a girl, he consistently told me for 10 years that he had no desire to be a girl. He told the court.
Then why don't you have that?
Appointed counselor that he was embarrassed to wear dresses to school.
That might be true, but that might just be because people judged them, not because they didn't want to dress like that.
Whoa.
Asmongold, take that as a fact. Asmongold, don't even be skeptical. Please take this as a fact. Take it as a fact. So just to be clear, there's no way that we could look to verify this. We don't have access to the documents, the court proceedings. Apparently, I'm looking it up. I want to see that. If we could see that, that's huge. That would be huge. But we don't have that access to that information, so it could just be a lie for all we know. We don't know.
And didn't want to wear dresses.
And why would the judge? If the judge, dude, this doesn't even make sense. He's trying to, dude. This is the whole problem. This is why people accept this as a fact. He's just making up this narrative that everything is a conspiracy against him and his son, and that despite the fact that the kid doesn't want to be trans and is not trans at all, this is his words, that all the judges and all the doctors are like, no, your kid's fucking trans now. We got you. Hey, we're in Texas. In Texas, we're super liberal in here, and your kid we're transing your kid. We're transing your kid. We're doing it. If you guys have access to it, show me the article, please. I will read it on the stream.
They initiated a CPS investigation against me for forcing him to be a boy. And my
average divorce dad experience.
Okay.
Yep. Well, there it is. Oh my God. How does this happen? you remember what I said before, guys? There's
What'd he
two
say?
groups of people in the world that are causing all of our problems, and the main one is Karens.
Okay.
That's it.
CPS investigation.
That's crazy, man.
I was telling
Do
you
have
guys.
contact with your sons now?
No, I'm disallowed all contact with my sons.
You're not allowed to even contact them.
No.
That's not true. He's lying. He's lying to you. He's lying. Okay? 2024 California court decision. Younger, that's his last name. His name is Jeff Younger, was awarded supervision. I gotta blame this guy from the chat because he's fucking shitting his pants in there. He's just spamming. Younger was awarded supervised visitation, but on November 19th said on Twitter that he would not do so because the supervision reinforces in a child's mind that the father is dangerous, that something is wrong with him. Right? Because not seeing your kid is not going to reinforce that your father's a piece of shit. He's just lying. He's just lying. And this is the problem. It's hard to take him seriously when he will lie to you. He wasn't forced to not see his kid. He just made that up to make him seem like more of a victim. He refuses to see his own kid.
Wow.
I'll tell you how this all sort of built up.
Wow.
So,
And Asmongold's like, wow, that's true. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Dude, look it up. He's lying. How do I know that Wikipedia is not lying? You're right, dude. Every source I have must be a lie, but the sources you guys refuse to show, those are the truth. Got it.
started transitioning him, really hardcore at 3.
Hardcore at 3.
Where she
like drag show, readings, crazy, hardcore, literal, insane. It's fucking crazy.
presented him to the world with a fake girl's name and everything.
What?
Bro.
This guy has more facial tics than fucking Ethan Klein. What is happening here?
Bro, how is every single person in the country not immediately saying this woman needs to have the kid taken away from her?
Well, because all the facts are against what he's saying. This guy's a loser. Holy fuck, Asmongold's such a little bitch.
Put her in jail. This is sexual grooming. This is sick.
Oh my god.
This
dude, it has to be so easy to be Asmongold. It has to be, because Asmongold, very clearly, his number one priority is to just jerk off in front of his audience and just come all over them and give them their they could suckle up the cum. Because he's just validating everything this ad says. He's not looking into any of the actual facts. Zero disagreements with his audience. He's just like arguing with his audience over. He's not even going to argue with his audience. He's not going to look up any facts. He's going to take this as a fact because he knows it's easy money. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here getting yelled at by like half my fucking chat about, oh no, you're wrong, you're crazy. I don't care, dude. I will disagree with you. Asmongold is a coward. He's a coward. He's a coward, dude. He's a coward. He won't disagree with his audience. He's afraid. He's got his like fucking conservative little cum guzzlers. He's fucking eating them up. This guy's a baby. He's a fucking coward.
of course, would have been an important component in the divorce that was going on.
Of course.
So
but it's not true. So
we get
it kind
to
of makes it hard.
2017, and we have our divorce trial. And we had a custody evaluator. His name is Blake Mitchell. He practices out of Frisco, Texas, which is a suburb of Dallas.
Okay.
And he asked me, what is your top issue? And I said, my top issue is she's tampering with my son's gender identity.
Yeah.
So he charges me $60,000 and does a 1-year investigation of my family, interviewing my children over and over again, everything, and determines that she was not transitioning my son to a girl. He straight up lied to the court.
The guy you paid $60,000 to is also in on it? Okay, this is getting great. Apparently everybody's in on the conspiracy again. What makes your kid so special? I don't understand. Why do you think that it's working?
And said that I had made a false accusation against her for saying that she was trying to transition my son to a girl. And on that basis, I lost 50.
Well, I mean, couldn't they just cross-reference it with him saying this to the, like, this is crazy. What the fuck?
I love how he's like, wait, this doesn't really make any sense. And then he's like, but it must still be true. That's crazy. Okay.
50 custody and got less than standard possession time. So I basically got, 4 to 6 days a month with my sons.
Okay.
So that's how the divorce ended, with the psychologist just outright lying. Now, I've been lucky with these psychologists that lie. I've been able to prove they've lied.
Well, where's the proof?
So the court actually set aside his report. But
then why'd you lose if the court proved that you're lying?
This is insane.
What? Bro, I'm going to give you the hottest take. Even if he's lying, it seems this entire chat supports mutilating kids. Bro, I'm going to be fucking real with you. I'm going to be absolutely real with you. I'm going to be real with you. You guys don't care about mutilating kids, okay? That's why everybody gets their tip snipped off in the United States. That's mutilation. Taking away my foreskin was mutilation, okay? Mutilating kids. They're helping kids be productive in society. I lost my dick tip because you're like, Jewish people said this is what we need to do. And by the way, it is what it is, you know? But that's mutilation. That's mutilation, dude. If you guys cared about it, then give it back. Give me back my turtleneck, dude. Give me back my turtleneck. What do you want me to tell you? I just admitted I support it? Dude, of course I support gender-affirming care. That's what all the data says is the right thing to support, dude. Who says we're cool with circumcision? You guys are still doing it. Sorry, dude. I want my hood back. Get me back into the hood, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Not before 18? Bro, I lost it at 18 seconds. What do you mean it's not before 18? I lost it at 18 seconds of my life. I made 18 seconds and they said no anesthetic. Boom! And they gave me 5 very small booms. It was even smaller when I was a kid. And they got rid of it. I didn't make that decision consensually. What the hell are you talking about? That's crazy, dude. Give it back. Give my hood back, dude.
Revoke his license? Yeah, If
blame my
if
parents? I do, dude. I blame you too, specifically you. Okay.
Lied.
That's what he actually told the court in his report.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she then starts really ramping up it again, and now he's wearing makeup at school.
Oh shit. Oh god, not makeup. The kid's dying. Okay. So from what I'm looking up, and it says that there's nobody named Blake Mitchell that's even tied to his case. Okay, I'm not understand. Like, is this person real or not? I'm so confused. Just admit I'm a little friendly with kids. I mean, listen, dude, I'm not the one who's fucking pro-life. I mean, you're the one that's so pro-life that you want to, like, so these kids will come out so you can molest them. I don't know why you're telling me that I'm too friendly with kids when you're literally trying to have all babies born so that they can be in, like, really desperate needs so you can buy them from fucking mothers who can't afford to keep them. That's what you told me, just to be clear, okay? I'm just saying, that's what you told me. Okay? I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's a little sketchy to me, dude. That's weird. It's crazy that you would even say that to me. We're not even friends. I don't even know you. From what I'm looking at, this person doesn't even exist. I don't even know who he's claiming. They're not even tied to the case. I don't even know. I can't even find them.
Boy,
he's using the girls' restroom at his elementary school. Which
crazy.
The teachers let this happen?
Whoa, the teachers? What?
The teachers are enabling this?
Okay.
Oh my god. It's California? This is insane.
Well, they were still in Texas at the time, at this point in the timeline, just to be clear, but okay.
I don't even know what to say. How is this even real?
Well, you're not really saying anything logical. That's probably why I don't know what to say.
Which was Pinkerton Middle School in Coppell, Texas. I got that school shut down. That school doesn't exist anymore in Coppell.
What? He got...
in middle school in Coppell, Texas.
He got Pinkerton Middle School shut down? Damn, that's crazy because they were transing this kid. Is that his claim? Nothing that I'm desperately trying to fact check if this school exists. I can't find anything about this. I can't find anything about this. The only thing I could see is this is a Fox News article about Copels ISD Pinkerton Elementary will close next year. And when you read through it, it says that it's a budget issue. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about when he says he got the school closed. Did he spell it? Did this spell it wrong? Maybe that's the problem. Bro, every single thing that I look about the school, it was closed down due to budgetary issues, and this guy's name isn't mentioned a single time. He's just like lying to attach himself to a story. What is he talking about?
Pinkerton Middle School in Coppell, Texas. I got that school shut down. That school doesn't exist anymore in Coppell. It's shut down.
What?
Got rid of the principal there. Her name is
what?
Miss what?
Mickelson.
Miss Mickelson. He's lying.
Who's the one that really transitioned my son?
The principal was the one who transitioned your son. You just told us that the kid was being groomed from the start. What? He's just making stuff up. He's just making stuff up. He claims that a school was closed because of him. It was closed because of budget concerns. Now he's claiming that the principal there was actually transing his child. But then he says that the mother was transing the child. And he's so inconsistent. This is insane. The school exists in California? That's crazy. That's so interesting. It's a California school? That's really wild. You know what? You're right. That's why he said it was in Texas. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, dude? The school exists in California? I don't give a fuck about California. He's talking about a school in Texas. Why the fuck would I care about California?
There. Her name is
what?
Miss Mickelson, who's the one that really transitioned my son.
So if he's so correct about this, why does he have to lie about everything? If he's so right about his kid being forcefully transed, why does he have to make up that he got a school shut down? Even though he's not mentioned at all in any of the articles talking about it shut down, and it was over budgetary concerns. Why does he need to lie if he's correct?
Oh, it's another Karen. What is happening? What the fuck? I don't even know.
And I found out
it's a Karen coalition. It is.
Dude, Asmongold is actually, he's just taking it as a fact. This is insane. This is wild. He doesn't even fact check anything.
It is. They were in Texas. I guess so. I feel horrible for this man. Yeah.
He didn't even look anything up.
Yes. Oh my God.
Oh my God, dude.
That's in Texas or California? They were in Texas, and then after Texas seemingly wasn't putting up with it, then they moved to California.
Yeah, so Asmongold, that's not even close to anything. You're making things up. You could simply Google the timeline, but you refuse to do even that bit of research. The mother was awarded custody in Texas. The Texas judges, the Texas doctors were the one that diagnosed this kid with gender dysphoria. They moved to California after he lost custody to have the kid get treatment that they needed. But, hey, incredible stuff.
Out after 2.5 years, they had been transitioning my son secretly behind my back. So I would bring my son to Pinkerton Middle School in Capel in boys' clothes, because he wears boys' clothes with me.
Okay.
And they would give him a dress.
I wonder why. Okay. Why is Asmongold so gay? I don't know. It's cringe. What are you doing?
And the
The most performative outrage I've ever seen in my life.
entire school got shut down for this.
Really? That's really interesting, Asmongold. Can you just show me any factual information of that other than I just heard it 15 seconds ago? Holy fuck. This guy doesn't care about any fact. He doesn't care about facts. He just loves money, I guess. And he knows his audience wants to hear this, so they're going to validate it. Oh my God.
What the actual fuck?
This guy's a loser.
This is crazy.
This is insane.
This is insane.
It is, Asmongold.
Social context is a massive problem if real. I feel like I
feel like I'm gonna go on to a rant that I would consider intellectual now.
Generally, I mean, if the school got shut down, the court denied this.
You ever think about Googling it? You ever think about looking into it instead of just iffing it?
I feel like there's got to be some truth in this, right? I mean, like
he just lied to your face. What are you talking about?
Because this is like multiple points of reference where it's confirmed. There are court reports public. It's real. Yeah.
None of it's confirmed, and you haven't even tried to confirm it yourself. What are you talking about?
Okay, so there's public court reports of this.
Well, really? Can you show them to me?
And tell him to use.
Okay, so a person in his chat that could have been a disabled fucking cat. We don't even know because they're all anonymous. Just told Asmongold that there are records of this in public. All of the stuff that we were just looking at that we couldn't find, apparently there's public records. They're everywhere. They're all over the place. So this random chatter who clearly is like a 45-year-old lawyer that's really, really, really involved in this case is like, yeah, there are records. Or maybe they're a 13-year-old fucking moron that reads Facebook memes all day. Dude, he goes, Chad, is this true? Yeah. This guy's so irresponsible. Oh my God. Ban all streamers, myself included. We have to get rid of us. We're literally worthless. Holy fuck. He's just lying.
Use the girl's bathroom.
So wait a minute. So he's being groomed.
Have I seen any of the articles talking about this and how men are winning? What the are you mentally disturbed? I don't give a fuck about articles talking about this. I don't care about conservative cuzgummling, Jesus Christ, cum-guzzling bullshit, sitting here just regurgitating his non-factual information. I don't care about how the media decides to hear one person say a false thing and they write 500 articles on it because they know dumb fucks like you will sit there and read them over and over again, or at least try. Like, what the fuck? Where's the Where's the facts? Sorry if I went off on you a little bit there. My bad. Especially if you agree with me. Okay? If you agree with me, my bad.
Groomed by school administrators to go into the bathroom of the other gender?
What?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
How are these people not in jail?
Jail for what? Because a girl goes into the bathroom with boys or boys with girls, bro. Dude, by the way, I don't give a fuck. This whole bathroom panic is ridiculous. You guys are having these meltdowns. Oh, well, we don't want trans people to go into other bathrooms because somebody might hurt the trans person might rape them. Never happened. There's no articles of that. Maybe there's people pretending to be trans doing that. I haven't really seen that either. Hey, what if we just had unisex bathrooms? Who gives a shit? Like, I don't start jerking guys off in the bathroom. Like, why does it matter? Who cares? Oh no, a girl is going to go in the bathroom with boys? Who gives a shit? Who cares? Why does that matter? Why does it matter? Why does it even matter in general, outside of trans people? Do we care so much about the bathroom panic? Who gives a shit? I'm going to go piss in a urinal. I'm not talking to the other guys. I'm not associating myself with other guys. Who cares if guys and girls go to the in the same bathroom? Just make them gender neutral. Who gives a shit? Oh, well, what if a guy goes in there and hurts somebody? I don't know. Then there'll be other guys to beat them up, I guess, right? Who gives a shit? Who cares? Why does it matter? This whole thing is ridiculous. It's just stupid in general. I don't give a fuck.
This is insane.
That's insane.
Really? This is crazy.
It's crazy. It's insane and it's crazy.
And when I found out...
By the way, I haven't verified any of this information. I'm Asmongold right now because I've verified as much as I possibly could.
I filed grievances against the public school.
Idea.
And of course, they exonerated themselves, saying that under their nicknames policy, they're allowed to call him whatever he wants.
Okay, cool. Who gives a shit?
That's true, but what about the dress? And
who cares about the dress?
What about the bathrooms?
Who cares?
And they're allowed to put him in dresses because...
he wants to wear a dress, or she, they, whatever. Who cares?
He wants to wear it, and it doesn't harm him in any way.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, sure.
And so there's...
I just want to be really clear. How do you guys contest with that? Other than guys wearing dresses are gay, how do you contest with that? This guy just sat here, told us that mommy forced him to be a fucking girl. And the kid's going to school wanting to change into a dress. And we're like, oh, yeah, that's bad. Why? It's a piece of fabric. Your gay little boy or trans little kid wants to wear a dress. Oh, God. Right? If I have a boy and they want to wear a dress, I'm not going to be happy with it. But at the end of the day, what am I going to do? It's a fucking kid. Let them live. Let them live their life, you know? So I'm talking about. These people are emotion-based, right? I can acknowledge that, emotionally, I don't want my kid to be... I don't want a feminine boy. I don't want a trans kid either. But if I have a trans kid or a feminine boy, I'm going to love them and accept them, and I'm going to get through my bullshit because it's my problem. It's not their problem. It's my problem, and you're going to move on. It's life. Okay? Grow up. It's time to grow up.
There's just no place to go. It's virtually impossible in Texas to sue a school district because they have sovereign immunity.
Whoa.
So this kept ramping.
Well, so the reason, if this is even true, I don't even know if this is true, but the reason why you can't just recklessly sue schools is because, I don't know, but if you guys know the thing called money, if schools are constantly forced into litigation, it's very expensive. And so people can financially gridlock a school and waste their resources. That's generally the idea of you can't just recklessly sue schools in general.
Ramping up.
If this is even true, he lies so much, and I don't really care about this dumb little factoid because we're going to sue the school for letting your kid wear the dress they want. Oh, yeah, that's suable. What a weird thing to do.
Up with my ex-wife.
I mean, literally, First Amendment, freedom of expression. What happened? Are we just sue over freedom of expression now?
See, the problem of why this happens is that the individual teachers that are doing this don't get held accountable for basically child grooming, which is, I think, what should happen. And this is the reason why this kind of stuff propagates.
Letting a kid wear a dress at school? That's grooming now. If a kid goes to school, they want to wear a dress, that's grooming. Fuck.
So much is that there's an administrative bureaucracy.
Dude, he's got a flow chart. Asmongold has a flow chart of things that he knows his audience wants to hear. And one of those things is public schools are bad and they're grooming. Because it's not just grooming them to be trans. Conservatives are also brain rotted into thinking that public schools want to groom them into being Democrats as well. Because it's definitely a fact that schools try to groom your kids to be Democrats. It couldn't be that the more educated you are, the less dumb you become and the less religiously driven you become. and the more like, oh, wait a minute, that makes no sense. That doesn't happen. What it is it's all just indoctrination and grooming, all of it. You know, you go to school and you're like, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Climate change is real? Wait a minute. What? That can't possibly be true. If you don't think this is what happens. Oh, climate change is real? That's insane. Wait, math is real? Wait a minute, vaccines work? Every vaccine has pretty much always worked. But what about the COVID one? I took that one and I didn't even die, but it's deadly, I thought. Wait, what? That's what I'm talking about, dude. This is insane. Everything's fucking woke now. I've heard it so many times. This is the fact, by the way. Somebody in my TikTok chat. I've heard this so many times. The schools are trying to force children to be liberal. Yes. By the way, that person, the fact that they said that means it's true. I know they're agreeing with me, but that's it. I don't know what to tell you. Dude. This is what we're talking about, dude. This is insane. You guys are just, I don't know what to tell you, bro. You guys are just uneducated. You don't know anything. It's fucking wild.
For this, that kind of enables these people to just do awful stuff. They aren't allowed to force and supersede parental rights. Yeah. And so.
Yeah.
Anyway, sue the teachers. Yes, exactly.
No. Oh my God. Did you just see what happened?
For this, that kind of enables these people to just do awful stuff. They aren't allowed to force and supersede parental rights. Yeah. And so. Anyway, sue the teachers. Yes, exactly.
Asmongold accidentally read a message that conflicted with the idiot rant he just had. And he goes, oh, yeah, anyway. And he moves in the other direction. Because he knows that completely dumpsters his entire perspective. So he had to pretend he didn't read it and go back on his idiot rant. Oh my God. This guy is so dumb. He's shamelessly fucking stupid. He's just got to get through the dialogue tree for people to fucking love him for.
And well, you don't sue them. You hold them criminally responsible for doing this.
What?
That's the way that you solve this problem. I'm a very big believer in individual personal accountability that directly affects the person that is doing the action.
What action are we talking about, by the way?
I think that
letting a kid wear a dress, by the way, that's the action. This is what we need to. You need to be able to sue for your kid wearing a dress at school. That's what Asmongold is currently preaching. Just to be clear,
that's how you solve a problem.
That's how you solve a problem.
If there's no real consequence for this, it just happens.
What's this? What consequence? What are you talking about? There's nothing wrong is happening.
But the moment that it's kind of like, for example, do you remember what I was saying about how like all the polls were saying that like Kamala Harris would win, but then everybody who was betting on it said Trump would win? Well, people have a very
So the polls got it wrong? Okay.
Very more realistic view of the world the moment that they have any money in the game. They have any skin in the game. So the way that you solve this problem is that you make people accountable directly for what they're doing. And
so basically, Asmongold, to sum it up, Asmongold wants you to be able to sue teachers that let your boys wear dresses at school if they decide to wear the dress. That's a suable offense. Asmongold right now is going on to an unhinged rant about how you should be able to sue teachers at schools. Criminally, personally, if they let a boy wear the dress that they wanted to wear, you can think it's gay or trans or weird or whatever you want. But do you really think it's a suable thing to sue a teacher for letting a kid wear a dress? Is this where we got to? What happened to, hey guys, I'm for the First Amendment. What happened to freedom of expression? Nope. Now you get sued if you let a kid, a gay, trans kid, whatever, wear a dress at school. You're sued. You're fucked. Because that's how you hold them accountable for the crime of letting a kids wear a dress. I don't even know what's happening anymore.
That makes this go away instantaneously. And so everybody is always willing to have these high-minded, weird ideals because they never have to suffer any consequences for them.
Yeah, that's ironic. Asmongold is that person. He could just say whatever he wants. It has no impact on his life. He's not middle class. He's fucking rich. He can say whatever he wants and let the fucking panic ensue and make more money off of it.
But the moment that you add in consequences, this stuff immediately falls apart. So in my opinion, I think that the mom and I think the teachers that were found to be cooperating with and encouraging...
Yeah, that's even if this whole story is true. We don't even know if this is true or not.
Encouraging the student to go in the opposite gender bathrooms, I think that they need to be brought up on some form of criminal charge.
Right, because they're going into a bath. Yeah, okay, crazy. That's wild. You want them to go to get arrested because they let the kid use the gender that they identify at the bathroom for the gender they identify as? Who cares? Why does it matter?
Personally, because that's what they've done, and that's the real that's the real solution for something like this. And you punish them directly. You make an example out of them as an individual, because shutting down the school, they just go work somewhere else. It doesn't really affect their life in the same way.
But the school wasn't shut down for any trans shit. The school was shut down. I don't even think it's shut down yet, but it lost it was for budgetary reasons. But again, the guy said it, and Asmongold needs to pretend it's true.
That like a sex charge would, and
I think that we need to sue the dressmaker too. What the problem is that these dresses don't come with something that has they need to start making dresses with souls, like literal human souls of maybe aborted babies, because those are actually people. So the embryo has a fully formed soul in there. So you take the soul from that's just wandering around like, oh, I'm lost, help me. And you put it into the dress. And so if the dress sees a penis, it kills the kid instantly. That's what we need to do, because that's got to be illegal too, right? I don't know. What are we talking about? The fact that they're not putting those in the dresses means that you should be able to sue the dressmakers. It's fucking insane. That's incredible.
It should, by the way. It should. This is what should happen. Mom, where's the...
If all dresses don't... I don't even know what to tell you, dude. This is what we have to do with dresses. This is what needs to happen, apparently. I don't know. We have to sue everybody. Everybody needs to be able to get sued because a boy wore a dress or a trans kid wore a dress, whatever.
Crime? I think that grooming a child in a sexual way, especially before they even understand sexuality at all, is sexual exploitation of a child.
Yeah, so just to be clear, right now, we're getting even more unhinged, because in this case, Asmongold is listening to a dad lie about his case of his kid. We verified that multiple times in this video, about how the mom forced a kid to be trans. But now Asmongold is saying that this is sexual grooming because it has to do with trans people, because that's a sexuality, and that means it's sex. Like, you realize how unhinged Asmongold's being right here, right? It's fine to disagree with the case, whatever. Now we're calling being transgender sexual because it's a sexuality? Because they're changing their sex, rather? Oh, they're changing their sex. Now we're sexually grooming kids. These these two things have nothing. Oh fuck! I'm like babbling. This is a constant desperation to try to make it seem like being trans in any capacity has to do with sex. It has nothing to do with actual sexual intercourse. It's just a sexuality people are identifying as. But Asmongold is upholding this psychotic idiot idea that somehow you're like introducing your kid to sex if you're allowing them to express their gender how they want. It's on a like this guy. Does this guy actually think that he's left leaning? Like, this guy's totally like a fucking conservative, like, cum guzzler. We understand this, yes?
I think that it is, and I think it's disgusting. It is. It's grooming. It's abuse. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's grooming. It's abuse. All right, listen, I have to make this like a commonality thing. We do this every single time. None of you ever talk about it. If any of you dumb fucking babies in the chat, in the TikTok chat, or wherever you want, come into the YouTube, come into the Discord, raise your hand, go into the fan chat. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Come explain to me why this is grooming. Come explain to me why anything that you're saying is fucking valid. All right? We'll just put it out there. Come into the Discord. Here we go. Like, the last time you fucking babies just disappeared when I asked you. Come in here. Tell me how this is grooming. Tell me how it's grooming to bring your kids to doctors. I would love to hear it. It would be fucking incredible. Let's hear it, dude.
Exactly. Falls under child abuse? Yes, it is.
Come in here, dude. It's a bunch of little kids on the internet. Come in here. Have the conversation with me. The trans ideology. You're a moron. Come in here. Talk to me. Explain to me why you're right. Other than you were told to by some other fucking idiot on the internet. I'm waiting. Come in here.
So finally, I look in the medical records with my ex-wife chose a pediatrician, Dr. Jennifer Pape, in Flower Mound, Texas, where I live.
Wow.
And Dr. Pape, in the medical records, it says that her and Miss Georgilis, my ex-wife, were planning on chemically castrating James at age 8 or 9.
That says it in the records. Can you show that to us? I would love to see that. Can you say that it was saying that they're going to chemically castrate your kid at 8 or 9? By the way, you don't get puberty blockers till you start puberty. I don't know if you guys knew this. This is like a hot take. You wouldn't even start puberty blockers till that age. But they were planning to do it at 8 or 9. Can you show me this claim? That's the smoking gun. A conspiracy to transition your kid maliciously. Show that to me. Does he have proof? Somebody's saying he's giving us proof 10 seconds later. Okay, I'm gonna keep watching.
That's plain black and white in the medical records.
Okay.
So obviously, I start to vociferously oppose this. I try to
this is why does she still have a license?
That's crazy. So where was the proof? What proof do we have here? Other than him saying something over and over again. What's the proof? You said that he says it in 10 seconds. Where's the proof? This is what blows my mind. I told you I would give you $500 fucking dollars if you showed any proof of what he's saying. Actual proof. If you could show me. You said it was on his Twitter page, and now you're telling me to go find it? $500? Wow, that's insane. I offered you $500 to verify this claim that he's made that you told me that there was proof for, and you're like, oh, wait, you go find it. Why? Don't you need that money? You're sitting here listening to a TikTok live on a Sunday night. You obviously need that money to go get some fucking bitches. So go show it to me, dude. Where is it? Look it up. Look it up. Show it. Find it for me. What happened? Where is it? Oh my God. Damn. It's almost like you know it's not real and you believed this and you have no fucking idea what you're talking about. You people are pathetic. By the way, if you're watching because you like me, you're cool. Call me a liar. Why would I open my mouth on such if I didn't know the information? Oh, dude, holy fuck. Dude, you made the claim that the outcomes are worse. You're not okay. Maybe you're not a liar. I'm so sorry. You're probably just wrong. You are wrong, but you believed it. You're wrong. Objectively, you know what? You go find the proof. I'm sitting with the Discord by the way, that there are worse outcomes as of today for going through gender affirming care. $500 to you as well. Go find it and show it to me. I'm waiting for it. There's a lot of $500 offers here. The suicide rates go up? Show it to me. Show that to me. Go in the Discord. Show me the proof. The as of today proof. Show it to me. Where is it, dude? What happened? Okay. Fuck. All right, we're continuing.
Why isn't she in jail?
Because it's not true, Asmongold.
A new
this
pediatrician. I have to go to court to try to get a new pediatrician. That leads her to file another lawsuit against me for sole control of James.
Mm-hmm. So they were at what age were they looking to do this?
At age 8 or 9, they were going to chemically castrate him.
Well, that makes no sense because the chemical castration refers to puberty blockers, and you don't start puberty at 8 or 9. So he's lying. He's just making things up.
It's insane, man. It really is. Like, I've seen some of this stuff that's happened, and it's unreal that there's anybody putting up with this even for a second. Mother should be stripped of a medical license, lose all custody, and promptly jailed. This is what I think should happen.
Yeah, based on the story that Asmongold has no idea what he's talking about.
Like, this is the kind of stuff, in my opinion, that I think like the government and.
Bro, let me just be clear, because I know that you're not going to come in here and give me anything. I'm going to show you the source that you're referencing. You are going to reference this is the source that you're going to come in here and reference, right? I almost guarantee it. You're going to show me this thing here about transsexual people. You're going to show me a study that started in 1973 and ends in 2003. You're going to give me a study that's 21 years old. And in this study where they don't actually look at gender dysphoria, they look at gender identity disorder. That's too late. They look at gender identity disorder. This one says that suicidality doesn't change. This is what you're referencing. A study that conservatives love to jump around that's 22 years old. That doesn't even study gender dysphoria. At a time where there was no mental health, or the mental health characterization and impact is almost non-existently studied and enforced for trans people. That's what you're going to show me. Okay? Outdated study that doesn't even look at gender dysphoria. And so, like, this is what you guys are looking at. It's wrong. Yeah, right. If they use that ridiculous old research, yes, that they do it on purpose. Like, you could just Google, like, hey, like, what are the outcomes for trans people? The outcomes are good for gender affirming care. Like, you'd have to believe that doctors want to make people trans for fun. You'd have to believe in a legitimate conspiracy theory for doctors to make people trans for money in order to support it, because all the data says that this shit is going well. That this is the right way to go. Is it perfect? Of course not. It's a new science. It's a new study. But, like, they use old data on purpose to mislead you because they're lying, and they know that they're lying. They know that they're lying when they talk about this stuff. That's the problem. Every day it's another fucking lie. They look for deceptive information on purpose to misinform you guys about how, like, the dangers of trans people. There's no danger, dude. They're just fucking trans. It's not a big deal. Who cares? you know? And to be absolutely honest with you, none of these people have ever met a fucking trans person in their life. Like, I know some trans people, and I urge you to unironically go and like find trans people to talk to, but realize that they're human beings and they're not like weirdos. Like, just go talk to a fucking trans person. Go make a friend. Go to an LGBTQ group. Go educate yourself emotionally, because some people don't learn factually, which is okay. Some people need like more intuitive learning. Some people need to go meet a trans person and realize like, oh, there's nothing scary here. Go meet a trans person. I'm not even like trolling you. Go on Grindr or something. Go meet a fucking trans person. Go to an LGBTQ thing. Go there with the intention to just talk to these people and just like listen to their experience. That's what you guys need to do. You know, and you'll be like, oh, wait a minute. It's a display in humanization. Okay.
And like especially even federal government should look into, because examples like this are just, I mean, it's just sick. And the fact that there's like an apparatus that's protecting this woman, and the worst part is that not only are they protecting her, they are enabling and you know, like making her more powerful. They're protecting her and enabling her to do this even more. So did you see the video with police officer yet? Yeah, I know it's coming up. Don't worry, I'll get to it. And she's a pediatrician. What the fuck? Yeah, exactly. And linked to video. It was just a Reddit. It's a Reddit post. I don't know what this is exactly at all. And you see all these people. Look at all these reports. Like, these people don't want the truth to get out. It's not. I mean, I don't know why it's so hard to understand. Dude's going to jail for his baby mama's child abuse. Convincing a child is the opposite gender is a form of sexual abuse. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll die on this hill and I don't give a fuck. Yeah, well, the thing is that you need to start charging people for it, because again, the reason why this stuff happens is because, so let me explain why this happens.
Is this even worth listening to? Because he's just going on a rant about something he has no idea what he's talking about. He overvalidated a video that he didn't do fact check at all.
I think that a lot of people have these viewpoints and they try to transition. I'm just gonna say it. I think that a lot of people try to transition their kids for social points. I think they do, and I actually think it's that simple. They try to transition their kids for social points, or they do it because this is some ideology and the kid plays along with it because it's a good way for the kid to get attention from the parents, right? And so that's it. And so this happens. You're right about that, yeah. And this is what Karens do, and I'm sure, you know, guys do this too. But
do you think it's, and this is a real question to anybody watching, do you think it's possible at all that maybe there are just some trans kids? Like, a real question. Like all the conspiracy language aside, do you think it's possible that some trans kids exist? We know trans adults exist. Okay? Some of my favorite people, like Bailey J., they're trans. I love them. Okay? If they're trans adults, then they were probably trans as a kid. At least the data shows that. A lot of trans people find out they're trans between 3 and 7. They start to understand the first hint of it, right? They don't understand everything, but that's when they start to feel that way. Do you think that that's possible? That's the only question I'm asking you. I'm not telling you if it's, I'm not asking you to consider if it's most or some or 1% or 99% or any percent. I just want to know if you think it's possible that some of these people who are adults, who are very happy adults with gender dysphoria, do you think that when they were a kid that they knew that they were trans at some point? If your answer is no, I can't help you. You're completely conspiracy brain lost. If your answer is yes in any capacity, even 1%, there's hope for you. That's it, right? Is it possible that some people are getting groomed into being trans? I'm sure that it is possible, and maybe it's happening. I wouldn't rule it out. It's a very complicated conversation to have, especially nowadays. You have so many people, especially in like their teenage years, are identifying as non-binary. I feel like a lot of that's because there's a lot of young people that are very distressed, and the internet has a big impact on that. And there's a whole conversation about identity. And there's a lot of information out there about how horrible it is to be a woman. And I think that upsets like a lot of young girls. It makes them think that they don't want to be women anymore in some capacity. And so that's why they identify as non-binary. Not the same thing as gender dysphoria, but that's a theory. I could be wrong. So I understand the idea that some people, you know, there's going to be more complicated than that. But if you don't think a single person that was trans as an adult was also trans as a kid, you are so locked into the mentality that everything is a conspiracy. And whether you want to hear this or not, the reason that you're locked into that mentality is because you're not factually driven. It's, I don't know what else to tell you. And if we go even farther, it's probably because your main source of information for your moral code is the Bible. And you've been told at a young age how to feel and what to think, and that there is somebody else telling you. There's an authoritarian figure telling you how to feel and how to think and what to say, and you've had absolutely no exercise in critical thinking skills because you never had to think about anything because you were told everything you're supposed to feel, and that's it. And your entire life choice and everything that goes on in your life is completely boils down to some kind of a authoritative figure, has told me how I should feel and what the laws should be, rather than critically thinking about like what is going on with the world and like how you should interact with it. You weren't taught critical thinking skills. And that's it. So now you're really susceptible to idiots telling you that trans kids can't exist. You know, it's an uncomfortable thought, but if you can't handle uncomfortable thoughts, then you're a child. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you.
But it sure seems like it's primarily women that are pushing this. But the point is still the same. It doesn't matter who's doing it. It's bad no matter what. The point is that that's the reason why it's happening. It's not happening because they really believe it. They're doing it for some kind of approval or some like deep-seated resentment of men or something like that.
Okay, man. Asmongold just puts in the idea that a trans kid existing is just indoctrination and it's a conspiracy theory. Asmon can't be helped. I don't know what to tell you.
So yeah, pick me, guys. Yeah, probably just mentally ill. Well, regardless of what the reason is, I think that this is my mindset. I think that if you're trying to transition a 3-year-old, you are mentally unfit to be a custodian parent.
Okay. Well, nobody tried to transition to 3. He other than the guy saying that the mom wanted to transition the kid, you have no evidence of that. For all we know, the kid was like, "I'm a fucking girl" when they were 3 or something, or they started to act really feminine, and it just kind of rolled on from there.
Period. And that's being generous. Like, it really, I mean, this is not even like if you're planning on, doing sex operations on a child at 8 or 9 years old, you need to have your medical license revoked immediately.
Dude, there was no fact that was even the case. Like, he didn't provide any fact. You just believed that. This guy says that he has access to court documents. He didn't show it to us. I mean, there's nothing on the internet of validating that in any capacity. What is he talking about?
I can't even understand where this. You shouldn't be around children, period. You can't be trusted. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. These people need to be removed from society? Yeah.
Okay.
Don't want to give them puberty blockers? Yeah, I bet they do. And just because the kid says they want to be a fire truck doesn't mean we should paint them red. Yeah, well, also, like, and here's the issue.
Yeah, I think there might be a little bit of a difference between a fire truck and a trans person.
Is that a lot of kids, this is what I think happens, is that the parents, and this is what the dad said, is that some of these parents that are so captured by this like worldview or ideology, because they're so captured by it, and the kid probably, like, you think about the type of person that gets involved with stuff like this, probably a psychotic, crazy bitch, right? And so if you're a kid of this parent, well, and this is your mom, you're going to want to go along with what she says, so she's nice to you and she doesn't treat you like shit, right? And so, of course, the kids are going to voluntarily go along with this, because that's the only way that they can be treated nicely by the parent. And I think that
then why didn't the kid detransition to be treated nicely by the dad? Do we just not think about that one? Okay. Gotcha. Conservatives 1, liberals 0.
This happens. It happens with religious extremism. It happens with political extremism. It happens with this type of extremism. I think it happens with everything, right? And it's insane. I probably would go along with it too. Yeah, I think
it's so, dude. It's what an interesting phenomenon to listen to Asmongold pretend to be intelligent for like a second of his life, because he's just kind of like reading off of basically image boards or whatever, fucking like 4chan, whatever boards, and just like, okay, this is what like you're supposed to say, like a pseudo intellectual take about overvalidation. He watched, the guy's job is to watch other people's videos and not fact check anything that's happening in them. He just looks at social videos and he's just like, okay, this is probably true because I know people are going to like this and they're going to watch it. The way Asmongold reacts is so lazy to pump out as much content as possible, and everybody thinks that he's a credible source of information. Like, listen, I understand that I do React content too. His videos are half an hour long, and this stream has been 2 hours long so far because I'm fact-checking everything. I want to make sure everything that's being said, I fact-check myself in these videos multiple times. Like, I show information, and I try to display it in an unbiased way. Like, I show information that disagrees with my perspective. I did like twice in this video, right, to make sure narratives don't get out of control. Asmongold's just like, this guy said it. His audience wants to listen to it. Asmongold's the type of person where if he got really popular in the left sphere, he would just be saying left-leaning shit. He would just be saying left-leaning shit. That's it. Like, there's no real difference between like Asmongold and Hassan Parker. The epidemic of people being captured by their audience and their bubble is insane. That's all it is. He's so audience captured, and he knows what he can say, and he just says it for money. He doesn't disagree with anybody in his audience in any meaningful capacity on anything that matters. He knows that the trans topic is very toxic when it comes to conservatives, because conservatives have been indoctrinated to hate trans people because they're fucking stupid. Not all conservatives, just the one that hates trans people. And he knows what he can and can't say, and that's why he just has these takes. That's literally it. There's no motion for left-leaning grifters. I don't even know what that means. Did I say that?
A lot of kids would have.
You don't think this is a fair take? You just joined the chat, but I don't know what to tell you. This is the take. This is the factual take after watching this for 2 hours.
And because they don't have the problem, and this is the issue that a lot of kids have, and this is why it's important not to do this kind of stuff to kids, is because they don't have any frame of reference to understand what is the difference between being a man or a woman. They don't get it. They don't even understand it. So you're taking a
what the fuck are you talking about?
Complex idea.
Dude, it's so interesting. I just want to be very clear. You're saying that these people don't know the difference between a man and a woman. Are you talking about the kids or
idea of transgenderism, and you are pushing it on a child in a very narrow view from their mind of what makes sense? It's insane.
Okay.
They don't know any better. They trust their parents are going to do things in their best interest. They can't comprehend the topic.
So then why don't they trust their dad?
Yeah, exactly. And when the boy's 15, he wishes a girl. Well, I don't know about being 15, right? I mean, I'd say 15, you've got a better idea of who you are than 3. I tell you that. I think anybody would say that. And so anyway, yeah. So poor kid was groomed. He was. She belongs in prison. Absolutely. Starts to watch it.
Well, that's if you believe what he's saying. What if he's lying? We've never considered that.
Imagine having to go through this. Yeah, it's awful. Unwatchably sad and shocking. It makes me so angry, him and the poor boy. This is why it's important to never vote for anybody who makes any kind of defense for this. So, like, this is my mindset. I would say that if anybody tries to defend this, never vote for them for any reason.
Defend what, dude? All we fucking know is that, like, a multiple doctors said this kid's fucking has gender dysphoria. That's all we know for a fact. And then that the dad is going on Tim Pool, Russian asset Tim Pool's show, and complaining about it, and then making shit up, which we verified like 8 times in here.
There's no justification for this. There's no situation where it's okay. Even if you side with people that are okay with this, that still, in my opinion, is a complete disqualifier. This is sick, disgusting, and I think these people should be put in jail.
Okay, if you say so.
I do, and if
it's interesting because Asmongold has like riled up this topic far beyond what it needs to be. He's emotionally loaded this topic like super heavily, and now he's saying. And by the way, the topic is somewhat reasonable. We could have like reasonable disagreements. Asmongold has poisoned this conversation. He has decided that this topic, which is basically boils down to a he said, she said, but the facts that we do have are that multiple judges in multiple states, including Texas and California, and multiple mental health counselors, even court-appointed ones, have diagnose this kid with gender dysphoria. That's all we know. You can disagree with it if you want. It's totally fine. That's all we know. And if you're looking at that information, from my perspective, it's like, okay, that's all we know. There might be something reasonable here. Asmongold has decided to take this and turn it into this insane, unhinged conspiracy theory of child grooming and abuse, despite the fact that there is no information to even validate that other than the dad is saying things that he can't verify. He's been lying the whole time. He's lied about multiple things so far. We've fucking caught him on it. And now he's deciding that if you're a reasonable person that's like, oh, wait, there might be something to this in favor of the mom, you can't even be talked to. He's actively telling his audience not to try to engage in reasonable conversation about this topic. That's what he's decided to do. This is what happened to freedom of speech. Why wouldn't you be able to have a conversation about this? What happened there? All right, let me just lay this out, okay? Because very generous donations from Grassroots Hegemon. Okay, so what you effectively said is that, like, you know, somebody older can be trans. I understand that, but like a 3 or 4 year old, if you see a 3 or 4 year old and know instantly they can't make the choice to be trans, you have to understand it's not working like that. Like, that's not the general way it works. The way it works is like, you know, you have your kid, right? It comes out of your vagina. You pop that bitch out, that bad boy out. Okay, they get a little older. They start acting out different. Like I told you, I have a cousin who's fucking gay. I knew the kid was gay from 4. I was 11 and I identified that the kid was gay. There are just some indicators. You can kind of like tell. They're gravitating towards different things, more feminine things in this case. Kid continuously gets older. You start letting them express how they want. Okay, I know you're a boy to boy, but like whatever. You want to draw your hair out long or wear a dress, fine. And it's just continuously gravitate towards more girl shit. That's basically what it is. Mental health counselors start to step in. They ask the kid questions. They try to help the kid. A kid continues to get older, and they continue to identify as a trans kid. What are you supposed to do at that point? Like, it sounds like the kid might actually be trans. You could say it's a miscalculation. That's fine, but like, that makes sense. Trans adults know that they were fucking trans when they were kids.
The moment that somebody actually comes up there that's more extreme than Trump or Vance about this, I'll vote for them to put these people in jail, because I think this is child abuse, it's child grooming, it's disgusting, and it has to stop. It does, yeah, and nobody should be tolerating this even in a slight amount. I cannot wait for the person to run for election that's going to put these people in jail, because I think a lot of other people are going to vote for that on just that issue. I cannot wait.
Well, yeah, they would vote on just that issue because they're fucking idiots that are completely locked into something that doesn't really matter as much. Like this is not a topic we really need to be discussing in depth, but conservatives are obsessed with it. All right, was there something in the soft white underbelly video that we missed that Asmongold didn't include in his video? Like, was there a factual information? There's nothing in the description. We watched Asmongold's video. I imagine he wouldn't edit out the proof that the dad shows. What are we missing here? Like, is there like a smoking gun that we're missing in this entire conversation?
I am so excited. And yeah, let's see. Thank you for saying this. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for commenting. Yeah, and I understand people. It's like this is, you might think this is extreme. I don't think this is extreme. I think that I'm the normal one. These people are the ones who are extreme. That's it. And I can't make you vote for Trump now. Well, I mean, I literally just said Trump isn't putting these people in jail. So like, why would I vote for Trump if this is an issue that matters so much to me? And I say Trump's not putting these people in jail. Why would this be an indicator that I'm voting for Trump? It doesn't make sense. And so anyway, let's see here. Who puts the flags on the post? Probably people that just don't want to hear about it and they don't want to see it happen. Or do you vote for Trump? Yeah, I don't know. This video has extraordinary claims. I know, but there's court documents and references, and the school got shut down, and it's all proven.
Where's it proven? Why wouldn't you add that in your video if it's proven? It's not proven. What is he talking about?
So that's the problem. It's like, I agree with you. Like extreme claims require extreme evidence, but unfortunately, this does seem like there's an extreme amount of evidence for this.
It seems like it? What do you mean? You wouldn't say it seems like it. Where is the evidence? Why is Asmongold not showing the evidence? The word, what the fuck is he talking about?
We're extremely against this, if extremely for it. Yeah. And again, I will be waiting for the person who will, not literally, but metaphorically crucify the people that do this. And I will vote for that person for that sole reason. Their other issues are not important. Why not literally? I think it's like 8th Amendment. You're not able. It's like cruel and unusual punishment. You're not allowed to do it. That's the only reason. Yeah, obviously. Trump did make it illegal for medical experts to transition a minor. It's a good start, and I was glad that Trump did that. But I think that should only be the beginning. You have to root this out at the very bottom. And yeah. Let's see here. Chemically castrate parents and doctors. I don't know about the parents chemically castrating them. I don't know about that. But yeah, I mean, this stuff makes me furious. And I think that if it's not making you furious, I wonder why. Like, not that there's anything wrong with you, but like, you're a weirdo. But this is disgusting, right? Kidnap your son, live abroad. Kidnapping is like illegal. How can you make an argument to legality whenever legality has created an outcome that's transitioning an 8-year-old? Like, I don't know. I mean, I would feel like, if the law has created an outcome that allows an 8-year-old to be forcibly transitioned and groomed by his mother and other people in his life, then maybe the law isn't necessarily the best decision maker.
But we don't have that. We don't have that. We don't have any validity to that claim, right?
Right. And what a retard commenter. Yeah, I guess so. But anyway, yeah, this is what happens. Is the people like this have to report. And the reason why, keep in mind, the reason why there are so many reports for this is because these people can't stand to see this happen, and they don't want to see this get out to the public. And the reason why the people are afraid
where the fuck is the full thing? What?
Of this story is because they know that they're wrong. They know that any normal person watching this and reading this story will see how disgusting and weird it is and immediately turn against them. So that's why they're trying to report it and shut it down, is because they know that what they're doing is evil. They know what they're...
Or maybe there's no facts to it, and it's an unhinged conspiracy theory that hasn't been proven, and there's no facts to any of this.
Doing is disgusting. And so they're doing everything that they can to hide the evidence because they know that if it makes it to the light of day, that they're going to be done. That's it. Woke doctors preying on children? Yep, exactly. Anyone doing this needs to be put away? Exactly. Viral, listen, your brother just tuned in. That's from Soft White Underbelly on YouTube. I apologize, I don't have a link. It was just posted on Reddit. Usually their interviews are longer, so I would assume there's probably more to this, but this is at least an excerpt of it. So yeah, thanks for bringing awareness to these issues. Yeah, it's disgusting. And I don't really know what else to say about it besides that.
You're a boy, right?
Okay. I mean, we just watched Asmongold have an absolute meltdown and have without any facts. He decided that this was factual, regardless of the fact that there are no facts to it. So that's really cool.